Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hopefully you are well. Thank you so much for coming along. I am John, and we're back again for another, at least an hour, of whatever it is that we call this. So thanks for coming along. I am going to check my audio. I'm just monitoring things here, so you're going to hear double in just a second. But let's see what this sounds like. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hopefully you are. Hey, that sounds all right. Today we're using my hat mic, which we got set up a couple of weeks ago, and then I've been testing out. You can kind of see it there under you can see the wire where it's taped at least. But we got it kind of set up a couple of weeks ago, and I've been wanting to test it out because I want to use it when I go to NAB, and so that's coming up in just a little more than a week. Unbelievably, I'll be leaving Nashville on Saturday, the 5th, and then I'll be there until Tuesday. So Tuesday afternoon. So pretty exciting to have almost 3 full days on the floor, and I'll actually get to walk around and see some stuff, which will be great because I didn't used to be able to do that. I would see some stuff when I was delivering cameras and supporting things for various people we had cameras loaned out from my previous employer. And so I didn't really get to see much of the show, but I did get to meet a lot of great people at the booth. And so hopefully I will get to wander around and meet a whole bunch of more people. And I'm taking my colleague with me who is a guy that I work with. He, I don't think, has ever been to NAB, but we're going there just to keep our eyes open to see what's coming up in the market and also maybe what solutions might work for us in the coming months. Because first thing is first, we want to create a scenario where we can edit video quickly, but not have to haul it back and forth between venues. And so here we record in Brentwood, Tennessee, and I live in the Centerville, Fairview area. So it's a fair bit further away than Brentwood. It's almost 40 minutes from there. And I would love to be able to just record, plug it in at Brentwood, or have somebody plug it in at Brentwood, and then I come home and it's transferring or has transferred. So that is the plan. And in order to do that, we're going to use Blackmagic Cloud Services, Cloud Docs, and our already existing Dropbox account, because we have practically unlimited storage on Dropbox. And so pretty excited about that. And we're going to make it to where we can definitely move our large format files across. I was editing a video, raw. Oh, and before I go too much further, what's going on, Randy? Thanks for checking in from your massage therapy appointment. That's pretty cool. That's funny that you're you're on the table. Enjoy that. I probably should go and have that done myself, but I'm really bad about making appointments. So making appointments for myself, I'm fine with like making them for my kids or whatever. If something needs to be done, I'll do it, but not for myself. I'm one of those guys. Hey, today's non-sponsor, mind you, is none other than Ember Mugs. You remember Ember Mugs because you keep your coffee hot and your creamer curdled. It is Starbucks coffee today, and it's delicious. But I flip between Starbucks and Tim Hortons depending on what it is that I'm doing. But today we have our Ember Mug, which is our non-sponsor of today's show, and then some Starbucks coffee that's caramel flavored, I think, actually. So good stuff there. Let me just take one quick second to check in with somebody. Let me just. Okay. My son has been home all week, and yesterday it was parent-teacher conferences during the day. My wife is a teacher at their school, and so this is kind of coming down. It's really annoying me. I'm gonna have to get more tape, I think, or just more like maybe it just needs to be a little looser. But anyways. My wife is a teacher at my kids' school, and they were off yesterday. Both of my kids were off yesterday because their parent-teacher conference is going on at the school. And of course, that means that our conferences aren't going to happen tomorrow because all the teachers are busy, including my wife. But their kids were home yesterday, and then my son has been home on Monday and Tuesday. So today is his first day back all week, and I guess he's having a rough go. So who knows what's going to happen there? Hopefully, he is able to settle down. My glasses are very crooked. Man, it's time for new glasses. See what I said about making my own appointment? I really need to do that because if you'll notice, one goes up and one goes straight. So, yeah, time for new glasses. I haven't had that done in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And who is it? Brian Regan. He says, "Why isn't better vision higher on our priority list?" It's like, why wouldn't you get new glasses as often as you could so that you'd have the best possible vision? Because you do use that every day. Anyway, so today is the first day where I've been home and I don't have any kids in the house, which is very strange. But also, today's the day to get some work done. So had a very productive week, regardless of my son being here or both my kids being home yesterday. Quite a busy day yesterday, but today is the first work day that I don't have children in the house, and so kind of nice to get some stuff done and also to kind of work at my own pace. So I'm happy to do that. So let's kind of talk a little bit about, first of all, what's been going on this week, and then as we're gearing up for NAB, what I'm really hopeful to see this year at the show. And then, as always, please let me know that you are alive and breathing in the comment section. But also, maybe if you're going to NAB, let me know that. But if you're not able to make it, let me know where I should go and check things out because we're gonna have 3 days. I have a list of booths that I want to go and check out on the NAB site. I registered and everything, so we're all good to go. We got our hotel rooms, we got our flights. We're gonna get the little monorail passes, and then yeah, we'll be there for a few days, and we'll just see how that goes. But do want to go over the things that I'm really excited to see. And maybe what I'll do is I'll pull up the NAB convention website and log into it and see. Let's see here: trends, topics, NAB show, register, plan your show. That's where I need to go, right? Looks like they're getting. There's like some life on the website, so that's good to see. When I go to plan your show, however, it doesn't necessarily show me where to like log in. I already registered. So if I do that, register now, all access passes, yikes. Resources, exhibits. Okay, let's go to the show floor. Schedule attractions, book your hotel, plan your show, register main stage. So let's go here. Now, what I'm very interested in seeing, there's a floor plan button. Let's go there. Okay. And also there, my NAB show. That's what I wanted to see. So if we just log in here. All right, now we will be able to see the exhibits that I want to see. You can see my list that I got going on here. So see results on plan floor or floor plan. So here we go. There are. Oh, that's interesting. All right. I want to see Magewell, PTZ Optics, Telstream, and then there are all these, I guess, that I've checked. So there's a fair number of places that we want to see. Of course, I want to go and see Bird Dog. They're in the South Lower. Is that what yeah, South Hall Lower, which is way over here, right next to PTZ Optics, which I think is hilarious. I don't normally like to put competing camera companies right now. Is AJA right around? Oh, Boland's right here. Okay. Ooh. Who else? Densitron, they're more like a friend, not direct competition. Where's AJA? I'm sure they're hanging around here somewhere. Normally, oh, there they are. Wow, they got a huge booth. Live Solo U, we do want to check them out. You know who I'm curious about is exhibitor name. Is Turtle AV registered yet? Turtle AV, go. Because this is Eamon Drew's new company, and I did ask, okay, so let's just look up Turtle. He's currently not registered on the NAB website. I asked him about 3 weeks ago if he was planning on coming, and he said they're really hoping to make it, but they don't quite know yet. So I would love to see what Eamon is up to. There is also a former employee that's working with him named Pav, and so him and Pav are in cahoots and working to create some cool stuff. So I'm very interested to see how it's going and if it's working for them. That would be amazing to run into those guys again, but they are not currently on the exhibitor list. So hopefully that changes. I would love to see them. Oh man, I'd love to see Eamon again. He's a great guy. So NAB, here we go. So Telstream, I kind of want to see them. I do want to have a conversation with Clearcom because our comm system is not the greatest. It gets us by, but sometimes like it drops, and I'm not cool with that. So I want to go and see Clearcom conveniently right here by Osmo and Insta360. Here's something I'm very hopeful. I have my fingers crossed that Insta360 is going to launch something at NAB. I'm really hopeful. There is this Ace Pro 2 thing that they're pushing, but that is a dumb action camera, and we all know how I feel about that. If you don't, I'm happy to reiterate that for you. The X4 is kind of like right now their lead, and honestly, if I was going to buy a 360 camera today, I'd probably go with the X4 because there's no better options available out of this company. I think the Go 3S is silly, and again, another action camera. Don't need one of those. Not super actionable. However, this right here, the Flow 2 Pro, this I might actually buy this week because I would love to do some B-roll and have this as an option for my phone. So really tempted to do that. We'll see. But yeah, we will see. Anyway, onward and upward. So let's go ahead and actually let's just open this real quick. I'd love to have this for B-roll and a bunch of just kind of having a way to steady. My kids are getting into shooting videos. They have an iPad that they kind of shoot videos on. So this would be a really cool tool to get and have in my arsenal, as well as I have my Canon RP, which, last week I had a conversation, a frank conversation with my buddy Angus, who helped me realize that I was having a bias against my RP that's really unjustified, and he was absolutely correct. And I've been thinking this week of all the reasons why I still really love that camera, and I'm good with it. So I have no plan in changing my mirrorless DSLR. There's no need for that. Oh, that reminds me, I did buy a couple of weeks ago, but it just arrived, a brand new MacBook Air. So this is the M4 MacBook Air. I might do some sort of let's go back here to there we go, M4 MacBook Air. She is pretty, and this is the blackish version of it, so the midnight or whatever they're calling it. Really slick to have a laptop again because I have been working. Since I left Bird Dog, I returned my MacBook Pro to Bird Dog company because it was theirs, and it was quite old by the time I gave it back to them, but it wasn't mine. So I gave it back to them, and it worked. It was great to have. And then I spent a lot of time flying on airplanes with just an iPad, and wasn't this one, but my other iPad, which is that's my son's birthday card. This iPad is a very old iPad that I've had for a very long time. I forget which one this even is. So much so that I had it when I was working at Rochester College, and I got really badly scratched. I was biking to work, and I got badly scratched on one day when I was biking. So I reached out to dbrand and got a carbon fiber backing for it, and that makes it look really cool. So I do like it. I have this RAM mount for it that I was using in my car for a while, but I no longer need it now. What? Let me look and find out, because it is a very old iPad and quite slow, mind you. It won't update anymore. I even have I had to buy a 30-pin cable for it just because it's I can't find mine. I don't know where that is. But anyways, it's fully charged, and I really want to use it for stage display at where I'm working at the church I'm at, because it would be great for my wife to have the lyrics down on the stage as well as on the TV in the back, so that she just has a couple of places to look. She doesn't get too lost. She's a professional, so she rarely gets lost, but it would be nice to have that option. This iPad is a iPad 3. It's very old. It's an iPad 3. And I have an iPad Pro, first gen or second gen. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm an early adopter apparently. So let's keep drinking this coffee because I don't want to get any coagulation going on. There's your word for the day. All right, so back to our things that we're excited about for NAB. So Insta360 has this little Flow Pro, which I might actually buy before I go. And the question is, do you get white or gray? That is the question. That's pretty much the only option that you have there, because I've got a nice iPhone that would work well and would pair well with that, and it would be great, as Angus said, for B-roll and a few other things. So I think we're going to plan on doing that. Let me open another browser. By the way, it is a beautiful day here in Nashville. Currently up to 60 degrees. The windows are open. The birds are chirping. We had a little wren that was waking us up this morning with their... It sounds like a song, but it's really the wren yelling at the other birds to stay away. It's his warning shots. So there you go. Flow Pro 2. Flow Pro 2 AI tracker. What is that? Hold on. What is that? This right here. What the heck? Is there a video? What is this? Break free from the app or phone limitations. Track video calls, live streams, online meetings, and more. When paired with Flow Pro 2, you'll get enhanced tracking precision for better mobile shots. With advanced AI tracking, Flow 2 accurately identifies subjects in complex environments, maintaining a firm lock and never losing track of the subject. Features a built-in spotlight, 3 adjustable brightness levels, and 3 color temps. Supports gesture control. Simply raise your hand to start and stop AI tracking. Wasn't that already on this model though? So let's go ahead and hang on. Why isn't this playing? Oh, I see. Audio mix bus. Oh, crap. All right. Let's... Nope.
With next level stabilization. Capture the best angles, scenery, and more with the built-in selfie stick. Plus, with the tripod, with Apple Dock Kit, simply launch the iPhone native camera app and turn your iPhone into your own videographer. Directly track with over...
You probably can't hear the audio on this one, eh? That's okay. It claims to track. I'm curious to see why we need a second tracking device. Just improved AI. Oh, it's a light as well? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's what they meant by that. Got it. All right, well, let's just start with the Flow Pro 2, and then we'll we'll graduate to that if the tracking is not to our liking. But I think I like the gray one the best. Would this, the question with this is it, can it use other cameras? Does it have to be a cell phone? You know, like if we go here, tutorials compatibility. Oh, PDF. There you go. Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, Android phones. Like, could you snap a different camera? Or does it have to be a cell phone? That is the question. Because I'm not entirely sure. It looks like we've got all sorts. I think I have a 13 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I know. I'm way behind. Um, Wide angle camera. So it'll work with this, which is great. I like that. I like that compatibility option. But I'm not entirely sure. Let's head back. Now, obviously, it's built for your phone, right? So that's fine. Um, but could you, for example, snap into that little grippy arm thing a Insta360 Evo in 1080 3D? Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. I'm hearing an echo, I think, so I'm going to turn off my speakers. Yeah. Content creation, vlogging. Ooh, ProRes log. That's fun. Yeah, this would be kind of cool. Live streams, online meetings. There you go. All right. Well, so then the question now is it's 160? Is that what I'm seeing here? If we buy it off of this site, yeah, standard bundle 160. Okay. Well, that's I'm sorry. It is 160 here on the website. So if we click on the buy now button, I don't see any other options for actually, so the Evo wouldn't work here because the camera, it's assuming the camera is pointed that way. Um, Although that's not true because this is facing. Anyway, I'd have to play around with it. It'd be great if it was because I'd love to. One of the things with 1080 or sorry 180 degree 3D video or 360 video is the stabilization. Now, inside the Evo, there is already a gyro that keeps everything oriented. So it doesn't matter which way you point the device, it will always, when you put on the headset, it'll kind of know which way you're looking. Inside the software, you can also tell it which way is forward. So let's say I'm walking down the street and I'm holding the camera at any orientation. When I load that video, it first of all knows what's level because of the gyro, but also then you can say, well, this is forward and that's supposed to be backwards. Then when you render it out, it positions the video that way so that when you put on the headset and the video starts, it's always started in the direction that you want. There's also an option inside the Insta360 Studio that allows you to move the video in whichever way you want during the video. So you can put like points. So for example, let's say that you're doing like a home walkthrough in 3D, or perhaps you're shooting it in 3D, but you want to go in and out of rooms, but you want to eliminate the person walking around with the stick. You can do that. So you go through and you record it in 360, and then you just point the camera, and then you render it down to 1080. And that way you stay out of the shot and you only see what it is that you want to see. So it's a part of the editing process. It's not as smooth as I wish it was, but it is an option, and that's kind of cool. The big holdout for me is obviously the 1-inch camera. The 1-inch has gone the way of the dodo bird, and we have yet to see it kind of resurrect again. Even though people know that a 1-inch sensor is way better in low light performance. So if they were to update this camera and create a 1-inch sensor, quite frankly, if they were to make the X5 with a 1-inch sensor instead of the X4, which is not a 1-inch sensor, if they could make the X5 and put a 1-inch sensor on there, I would be all about it, because it's the low light performance that I find is really hard to get right, which means that you buy an expensive camera and then it can only operate in ideal lighting conditions. Granted, that is standard for cameras, right? You buy a lens and it has a specific function. It's not going to be a jack of all trades. However, the bigger the sensor, the lower the light can be and the better things look. So a 1-inch that could do, say, 6K or 8K, that would be high performance in low light, would be ideal, especially when usually you take the, you don't, I'm not taking these outside at night here at my house. I'm not walking around my house with this camera. I'm taking it on vacation, and so there's usually no predictability as to what are the conditions going to be like or where I'm going to be. Here's a great example. I have a video of me with the Insta360 Evo, and let me just pull the comment section over here. Okay. I have a video from the Evo days where I shot it on. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I shot it on the Insta360 Evo, and I was walking through the ship, the cruise ship, through the hallways. Now the hallways are pretty well lit. The issue that I had is, and here I'll load it. Okay, this looks terrible. So let's see here. You said VLC, right? Let me do this one. There is one where I'm going to go and get... here we are. This shot, this is a... I'm walking back to our room. We're watching a movie up on the top deck. And I'm walking back to my room. Go ahead and pause to get sunscreen, because it was sunny in Alaska, ironically. So if I back out here a little bit, this is lighting, indoor lighting. Okay, it's like average, looks nice. You know, you wouldn't want it any brighter than this, but you really wouldn't want it any darker. This is middle of the day. This is the lighting that the cruise ship has. Here is the performance of the Evo. I'm going to walk down the hallway, and we can spin around here and see the hallway. Now, the resolution's not great, and quite frankly, I didn't really know what I was doing back in 2019. So the lighting is okay. Like, it's a little blurry for what it is. If we look at me, see, we can, even I'm a little blurry, and you can see the stabilization of this camera. This is basically like full feature, highest resolution. This is what we were getting. And when it started, it was a little more zoomed in than that. Here's our room. So let's head on inside. Now look, it's dark, so low performance. This is our bathroom that we had. I'm checking for sunscreen. And off we go, back into our room. Now this is, for when I bought this, what was that, 2017, 2016, somewhere in there? This is actually pretty good. I mean, for the size sensors, they're very small sensors. I don't remember exactly, but they're really small. They're 1080 on both sides, which means that your shot like this is going to be almost standard def. But it is what it is. And the thing I think always whenever I watch these videos is we're just missing the detail. You know, I don't mind that it's moving. I don't mind that it's even a little like bumpy, but I miss the detail. I want higher resolution, and a 1-inch sensor that could do 6 or 8K would probably be far more sufficient. Probably would take a ton of room on my computer, but it would probably be far more sufficient. I wore that shirt yesterday. Uh, I don't change my wardrobe often. It'd be far more, it would look a lot better. And so, what I'm really hoping is that Insta360 is right around the corner from announcing a new 1 inch camera. Maybe they found that the market wasn't big enough for that, but I strongly disagree if they think that action cameras are where the market is for Insta360, because I don't think it is. I think action cameras got oversaturated with GoPro, and we all know how that worked out. But yeah, I really hope that there's a real VR, at least 360. I would hope 180, but I don't think they're going to ever make that again. I would hope that they, yeah, come out with a 1 inch sensor that. All right, I'm going to change this now. And let's just look at a couple other videos when we'd walk the promenade, for example. Now, this is outdoors, full sun, full light. The ISO is actually pulled down on this, so I had an abundance of light, and here is the promenade deck. This is on a ship formerly known as the Star Princess. Now is a ship of part of the P&O fleet out of Australia, but this is when she was owned by Princess back in 2019. COVID hit, and they sold her and another sister ship to P&O, which is actually the same company as Princess. Carnival Cruises. Carnival Corporation owns Princess and P&O and Carnival and a whole bunch of others. So here we are. This is the camera in full sunlight, and I think it performs really well. It looks really good in a headset, especially one that has a fairly big, sensor like the HTC Vive Elite. It looks pretty good, and it sounds pretty good. So even the audio back then, when I was recording this, worked pretty well. And but that's full sun. I mean, this is full light where it's not struggling at all to keep up. Whereas we did go to, when we were in Victoria, we went to a botanical gardens, and we were walking through, and this is basically at dusk. So you can see the ISO is blown way open to try and keep up, and the exposure is really turned up high too. This is actually in auto mode. You can see the garden, but it's so shaky. Like it looks, you can see my footsteps vibrate. All the trees are vibrating and everything. And this is actually where I got in trouble, because they told us no monopods, and it's actually a selfie stick, and I was going to fight them on that, but they didn't want us to have any. Oh, they didn't want us to have any selfie sticks, but technically it's a monopod because I had it on a monopod. But anyways, doesn't really matter. I wasn't getting great video anyways, and so I'm not too upset about that. But in full sunlight, it operates pretty well. It looks pretty good, and we can look around the whole video. And here I am. I filmed this as if my kids were sitting on my shoulders, because they're used to this view. They're used to riding on my shoulders, and so I just put the selfie stick over my shoulders, and we just walked back to the pier. And I thought, well, if they wear the headset, this will look very familiar. So that's what I was going for. I took a lot of videos on the White Pass train that we were on. And here we are. Look at this. Isn't this stinking cool? Gosh, I love Alaska. There's my wife sitting in the train. It's just like, seriously, if you're a nature person, and you get a nice sunny day in Skagway, take the White Pass. It is a beaut. And now look at this. Look at this. Do you see this line right here up the middle? This is the two lenses, the where the two lenses are stitched together. You can clearly see a quality difference. They're supposed to be the same lens. They are not. And it drives me crazy, because whenever I'm watching these videos, half of them are sharp and half of them are not. And on the last show, I don't remember if it was NetHab or who it was, said like, yeah, it looks like the sharpness is turned all the way up on one and is not on another. And I can't change that. I went into the app and looked through settings and everything. I can't make them the same, at least as far as I know. I actually have the Evo app on here because that's how you control it. But I don't think that there's a way to go into the individual lenses. I think that there's a way to do it where you can manipulate both, but I don't think that there's a way to manipulate either. I might run downstairs and get the camera because I am curious. I have never seen a way to do that. So let me just be right back and give me a couple of seconds and I'll grab that camera and then come back here real quick. All right, we are back. So let's just have a little look-see at the Insta Evo 360, Insta 360 Evo. Man, what a cool little camera this was. I'm really sorry that they just don't do anything like this anymore because I really, I think that it has great potential. It is a little confusing when people see it. It actually looks like a little, we'll say international knockoff, but this thing still works. Now, they were notorious for overheating, so if you shot for more than 10 or 15 minutes, then they really got too hot, and they didn't do very well. But you just connect via Wi-Fi to the Evo, and the Evo is broadcasting its own Wi-Fi, and then the phone will ask you, do you want to join? And then you'll be able to actually see a live preview of what it is that the camera is seeing. And so, man, it's a really cool, there we go, connected. I wish I could show this on screen, but here is, let's see here, let me put them together and eliminate me. So there, you can see my messy room. Now look, as I spin it around, it doesn't change, but I can spin it around here. Whoa. I can spin it around here and show you again. Oh, now you're seeing a screen and a screen and a screen. It's showing me. There I am. So it's really neat. Now let's go into the settings. Oh, it says the battery's almost dead. So let's grab a little charging cable for her. And here it is. Yoink. All right, now it's charging. I wonder if the heat would be better managed if it was charging at the same time. So if I could like tape like maybe a 90-degree charging cable to it and then have a battery at the bottom, like a small one, something maybe like a little, what is it, how many amps is it, or milliwatts? This is 5,000 milliwatts. So, no, that's not right. 5,000 milliamps, sorry. Yeah, that would be really cool. So here we do have some options on the camera to try and, whoops, let me cover my face. We do have some options on the camera to try and manipulate the different settings, but I honestly don't think that it's going to give me the option. So we can go full manual. We can change our ISO, change that down to 400. What other options we got? 200, okay. 30 frames a second, so let's go up to 60. Oh, so our ISO now needs to increase to 400. Auto white balance, raw footage, timer mode. Okay, and that's for photos, it looks like. So if I close this and now go to camera, and I turn it to manual, Okay, so this is a 5.7K camera. Again, when you stretch it out, it doesn't do that. But 5.7 at 30 frames, which is the highest that it can go in video. So that's what you want to do. You want to get as much resolution as you can if you don't care so much about the frame rate. It can do 3K at 1,000 frames, which I wonder, like, maybe the videos would be smoother if we had more frames. And it can do 4K at 50 frames. Why 50 frames and not 60? I don't know. But maybe the low frame rate is what's screwing with me. So if we do 3K at 100 frames, then this would have been great to test. And then we're gonna, okay, so it's manual at 100 frames. Let's go to a 120. The ISO needs to be set to, wow, it's set to 800. Does that look okay though? Yeah, that looks all right. Okay. And then what other options we got here? Auto white balance. So it's actually mostly natural light in here today, but we're gonna just leave that on auto. The video can be shot in log and shoot for Google Street View. Well, that's cool. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, but for shooting video, those are the options. Now, the question I have is, can I change? There are no options for like calibrate lenses or, you know, sharpness or whatever. So that is unfortunate. If I pick this up, how much room do I have? Okay. So if I pick this up and just put this on my desk, let's just stand it up here and see how this looks. Now it says the preview is compressed because it's streaming it live, but I'm just going to hit record. And we're going to start recording. It's going to beep at me and start recording. And then preview is not supported for this, apparently. So we're going to record this part. We're going to drink some coffee. And after 15 seconds, we're gonna stop, which is there's just a stop button here. All right, and now we're going to look at that video. So we can pull up that video, and we can have a quick look at it and see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and play it. Hear any audio? Oh, I'm watching this in slow-mo because it shot at 100 frames. That's interesting. Okay. Settings. There's no options to change, like to shoot at 100 frames and to watch it at 60 frames. So let's go back to camera. Here, I don't want to shoot in 100 frames then. I want to shoot mode. What else? Nah. See, if I shoot in 4K 30, am I just reducing the camera? Oh, and if I shoot in 4K 30, I have additional options. So let's say full manual, ISO, so let's shoot in the shutter rate is 1/60. I'm gonna have it shoot at 4K 30, so I should be capturing twice as much as I need. And then the ISO can be set to 400, which looks pretty good on my phone. Let's see what else. Those are all fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna hit the record button. Let's see what happens. Man, so I mean 360. Oh, now I get a preview window as well, so you can see that. You can see what it is that I'm seeing. Come on, camera. It's a little overexposed. But there we go. 20 seconds. Go ahead and stop it. Let's have a little look and see record has been successful. It's okay. Go ahead and look at it. Alright, audio's there. it looks on computer? Well, we'll probably have to find out. So I'm going to download the video, and I'll send it to myself, and maybe we can see it. Excuse me. Cough button doesn't work on this microphone, so I had to have a backup. Okay, so I have downloaded this video. I'm gonna go to my photos and then see how big it is. Share. Here we go. What else is here? Download album. 360 video. Check. Exporting. Need more time to compress a 4K video. See, that's not what I want. I want to plug this in, and maybe my camera is showing up here as a device on my network. Maybe not. I will find it. Yeah, it should actually show up as a device, but it's definitely not. Okay, it's now in your photo album, it says. So there it is. Let's go ahead and send this to myself. Then I can download it. How big is it? 174 megs. Just like a night. Upload to here. Alright, let's give that a minute. Right now, but in 4K, and now it's compressed. So the other question I have then is, actually, do I have the? I don't have the Insta Studio on this computer. I know I have it on the old machine, but it is not here. Let's go and look for. Interesting that if I turn this off now, it's charging, but will it appear as a device? That's what I want to know. Should it not? This cable may be bollocks. It may not be a data transfer type device. What do I got here? One of these are both USB-C. Oh, you know what? This guy. This guy's plugged in. Let's see. Supposed to be able to plug in a micro USB-C, or I'm sorry, a micro USB cable, and it will show up as a device on your computer, obviously. Currently, it's not doing that, it's just turning on. So that's a bit of a bummer. However, this guy be plugged in. Oh, whoa. My USB hub is wigging out for some reason. Alright, let's go here. Sorry, I'm off camera, everybody. Okay. Whoops. Good morning, Angus. How are you? Thanks for coming along. Always good to see you. We are monkeying around with my Insta360 camera, my Evo, which I've talked about numerous times in the past couple of weeks, but I never had it up here, so I went downstairs and got it. Shot a video in 4K 360. Now, I'm transferring it to, it was 21 seconds. Transferring it to my Google Drive, and then we're going to take a look at it here on my computer once it's uploaded. However, it did compress it out of the app, so not a fan of that. Now my Evo just powered down. Alright, that's not what I wanted. Let's see if I can get this camera to do a data transfer. Doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. It looks like it's just power. Yeah, it's just powering it. Well, the other option is to get a card reader. And I could do that. Yes. All right, so we can pull the card out of here and power that down. Now it's complaining because there's no card in there. This is actually a really good card. It's a SanDisk 64. I went out and kind of spared no expense when it came to, there's the drive. Spared no expense when it came to buying decent media. All right, it's claimed to also have finished the, yes, there it is. So let's go ahead and download. I'm also going to look in this camera file, okay. And the other thing we're going to need is the Insta360 Studio. So, Studio version 4.6. Where is the big download button? New features. Where is the big download button, clowns? It should be big and obvious where the big download button is. Come on now. Product support. Alright, well, it's here somewhere. Doing alright, says Angus. Thanks, hope you are doing well. The music is... Oh no! I'm sorry. The music should be gone. I'm not doing my due diligence this morning. Did not mean to have music on there. I will turn on my speakers slightly, although I'm using a little different microphone today to accomplish the goals. I did not mean to have music on there, so my mistake. Please forgive me. Okay, download studio. Why do I need to be... Oh. Alright, let's just do the serial number then. So, where's the serial number on this guy? It's not even listed on the product. Get out of here. That's garbage. Whoops. Alright. Okay. Maybe it was this account? Yeah, okay. Download this. The video file has completed. And so we're going to open VLC. And we're going to have a little look at how well this worked. So here is the video file. Here's my messy office with my messy desk. Now, I don't see the stitch line like I did before. Maybe it's here. No, that's not it. It was facing me. So the stitch line would be here somewhere. I don't actually see it as before. I can show you as soon as it's done downloading, I can show you the studio software too. It's actually quite good. I thought it would run better on my Macs, but the old MacBook Pro that I had from Bird Dog, I had it on there for a while, and then I found out my PC actually runs the 360 video editing software better than on my Mac. I found that a bit of a surprise. So, all right, so we've just downloaded the studio. let's switch over here and have a look at the install process. Do you agree? Yes, I agree to the terms. I want to install this though on a secondary hard drive. This one. Okay, next. No. Associate these files. Okay, done. All right. So now we're going to install the 360 software, and we can import this file, which is now here directly on the camera. There's also a bunch of other files on here. Today is, what's the date? 3/27. So this is it here, right? 3/27/2025. Oh, and then there's more down here. Oh, that was the picture. So these are the two files that we just took. Let's go ahead and transfer those to my desktop. Okay, those files are now there. Finish. Let's go ahead and launch. All right, and now we are booting in. This is version 5.5.3, which is nice. One more moment, please. Okay. Later. Let's do this later. Okay, so here is the Insta360 program that gives us the option to edit our videos and decide how it is that we want them to show. These two videos, this first video is shot in 100 frames, and so it's slow. It's like slow-mo. So what I'm going to do there is just get rid of it because it's pointless. I don't need it. So get rid of that one. Now this one is the one that should be shot, yes, in 4K 30 at 60 frames shutter speed. Okay, so this gives us the option to spin around and see the camera. I also want to do this where it shows the full view. So if you're going to render this in 360 and then look at this in your headset later, that's what this would be. I believe that there is a way to change. See how my body is not the center of this video? Well, if I put my headset on, I'm going to be looking, the first thing I'm going to see is my computer screen. So there should be a way to change it to where the center of the screen is me, and then the rest is, you know, for the rest of the thing. So when I turn on the video, it's always looking at me. So I know that sounds vain, but if we say auto frame, will it do it? There should be a way to manually do it because I don't move in this video. Let's see if auto frame does anything. Anyway, this would be really cool to have. Honestly, I love this little camera. It works really well. It's a little low res when you get the headset on. And as we saw from the videos earlier, matter of fact, I think I still have the videos, the raw videos from the cruise. Do I not? I might. Oh yeah, there. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe I moved them along. They are huge files, so there may not be. I may not have saved them, or they might be sitting on a hard drive somewhere. You know that I. All right. So. All right. Now it claims to have. So if I switch it now to this. I mean, you would think this would be the view, right? I wonder as well, is there a way to flatten this? So, you know, in the shot, time shift? Man, I don't know what like half of these things are, which is a shame. But this has always been the issue with shooting on this camera is you would think that the main shot that you're using, you would point the lens. Okay, so I've got my little camera here, right? That the buttons on the top would be camera 1, and so if you're looking at that camera like this, and this is the lens that's on the one with the buttons, that you would be in the center frame, and then the others, you know, this would be basically 180, and then the other lens would be 180 around this side, right? That does not seem to be the case. Because if we want to go back to the videos from the cruise, I would point this at myself and then would come to find out that I'm not looking at the center camera. So if we go look like this is sideways. You know, like the default is sideways. And so like shouldn't it be like this? I don't understand what the dealio is here, but I feel like it should be like this. This is such a cool video. Like when you're wearing the headset, you can kind of see the size of Discovery right up close. But anyway, so the orientation of the camera, like I wonder how to set that in post. You would think that you could do it. Now, this is in the 360 view, so you can see my back here and my front here. If I go to just flatten this video, then obviously I can go to the first frame and say keyframe, like right here, and then start tracking, and then it will track me. But that's not a 360 video. What I want is when I shoot in 360, I want to be able to drag this over so that I can position myself in the middle of the shot and then render it that way. I'm not too sure if that's possible. You know, I don't see a way to do it. You would think that there would be a way, but alas, I do not see one. So it is curious. This shot, though, I might render this out because this is, if this works and it looks correct and there's no stitch lines, then yeah, that might be, you know, that might be worth it. 128 megs, we can test this. Put this on the desktop, export 360, start. So we've added this to the export list, which is here. Oh, that's pretty fast. I mean, it's only a 21-second video, so let's not get too excited. But while we're at it then, let's fire up Steam, which is already open, evidently. And we're going to enter VR mode. Hopefully this doesn't screw us up too much on the stream. So it's going to start a fourth screen. Okay, it doesn't seem to be providing a problem. Okay, Google, turn on VR towers. All right, we've got a couple of, I got to power up my VR towers in order for that to work. Oh, starting to drop some frames. There. StreamVR is disabled because it crashed the last time. Should we try again? Yes. Here it goes. And the program I want to use is called Virtual Desktop, which is really cool. Basically allows you to see your desktop in your headset. This is actually turning on, which is rare. So let's just go ahead and wait for it to power up. I'll show you this. Oops. I'll show you this here. This is the actual VR connection showing the stats. Now it's got to find the VR towers, which sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. We'll put the actual headset in the way. See if it actually powers on. Base station not detected. Cool. Devices. Base station settings. Why is it not detected? All right, let's power it off and try again. All right, here it goes again. I have been having some issues with these base stations talking to the computer, and I'm not too sure why, because I don't really know. It says that it's turning it on, says that it's connecting. I can turn on one of these handsets here, see if it will detect one of those. Whoa. It did not like... Yeah, yikes. So I'm doing a lot here. So you'll notice my frame rate has significantly dropped. Whoops. The handset just turned off for some reason. Yikes. All right, let's quit that. Hey, Sean, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. Always a pleasure to see you. I'm not too sure what to do. I will test this and take a look at that video. I'm very curious to know if the 4K video has better resolution than the 5.7. I can't imagine it would, but they would be smaller file sizes, and also maybe the lenses behave more identically than the 5.7 option, which is 5.7K stretched across, stretched across those two lenses. Remember too that when we are, so this, like if we zoom this in, I can't, maybe a stitch line is right there over the, yeah, that might be a stitch line there. And then this is kind of fuzzy, But I just exported that video, so where's VLC? It said it put it on my desktop, so here's VLC and that video. It's a little pixelated, Excuse me. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I guess we're going to have to put a headset on and find out. But there it is. All right. So what's left? Well, NAB's coming up. I fly out next Saturday, a week from Saturday, and then I will be in Vegas for a few days. So if you're going to be there, let me know. I'd love to meet up with you guys somewhere on the floor and have a chat. It would be great to, have a face-to-face meeting with anybody. But also, if you're not able to make it, what should I go and see? I mean, tell me what it is that you're hoping to see at NAB. I'm really hoping to go see the Insta360 booth. That I'm really hoping will have a 1-inch lens, because as we saw even today, the Evo works well, but it definitely needs low light performance is off the table. And so you're stuck with full sun, which is fine, but you are stuck with, it needs to be bright. Even, whoops, even this, sorry about that. Even this is, it's just, it's not amazing. And I don't know what the ISO is on this. I don't know what the, but this is just a video. It's a 360 video shot on the Evo that is just us sailing through Alaska. And you know, if I'm stressed or something, I just put the headset on and watch this and calm down a little bit. uh, no, I mean seriously though, I do that. So this is though full sun, but it was very overcast that day, and so the performance is okay. It's still not amazing. This is again overcast in Alaska. This would have been in July of 22. Here we are leaving. This is one of those examples I showed you the other day. Here's an airplane coming in, and it's fuzzy and pixelated and almost interlaced until it gets to here, and then the sharpness changes of the airplane. Let's see if we can see it happen here. Yoink, changes right there, and then it's a bit clearer. So it's an interesting demonstration of that lens not working correctly. But I wish I could look like down. Oh, look, there's a person down there. I didn't know that. Look down and see what lens it is, but I just don't know. So maybe if I find, like, if I walk in, oh, you know what? There is a video where I do that. Let's go here, 19, stateroom. Okay, so here we're walking into our stateroom for the first time. This is pretty clear, but now there's a window. There's a mirror, sorry, right there. And so where is that stitch line? It's hard to tell right here. Is it forward? It's a little overexposed. So I wonder if it's here. Is that stitch line? Yeah, there it is. So if we go back just slightly, you can see it move. See? So it's right here. So this is the fuzzy side of that camera, and this is the crispy side. So what side of the camera? So can confirm the far side of this camera is fuzzy. Wow, how about that? Let's pull the plug on this. So this lens is not as sharp as this lens, the one that's here. This seems like the primary lens. In this shot, I'm holding it like this, and I'm looking at the ones with the buttons. So this lens is nice and clean, and this back lens seems to be a little bit more fuzzy than the others. And so if we continue to follow us out, maybe we can find that stitch line again. There it is right there. You can see, yeah, that stitch line. So my face is clean, whereas my wife and, you know, it's not as, it's almost like under sharp. So that's good to know. That's good troubleshooting right there, folks. So looking forward to NAB. I'm really hopeful that Insta360 is going to have a 1-inch announcement at NAB. They keep hinting at something, but I think what they're hinting at is the Ace Pro 2 crap, like the accessories, and I'm not interested in an action camera. I'm interested in recording an experience that my family and I are having, and then being able to relive that through the headsets. And we've already talked about capturing 3D audio, and then we've talked about capturing 3D video, and combining those two things to make an immersive experience. And that can confirm is pretty cool, because I've done it a few times and it works pretty well. So you can see here, these are the places with the markers are places I want to go. So B&H will be there, Clearcom, Osmo, and Insta360. I've also want to see Zcam, see what they're up to. This is Falcon Eyes. They make great key lights, and so I'd love to see what they've got going on. It looks like Magewell is here next to them, so might as well take a peek at them and see what they're up to. They're no longer in competition with me, so I can go check them out. Hollyland Tech, they do microphones and a few other things, camera accessories mostly. And Ceramonic, this is our headset manufacturer, and I want to have a conversation with them about, hey, what's the deal with the headsets? Because I feel like it's a challenge to try and get like program audio, for example, into the headsets. And I also feel like they're not very consistent in a space of less than 50 feet. We've got several, and they're regularly dropping. So I want to ask them, what are we doing wrong? You know, certainly that's not the way that you planned on these being used. Then there is American Music and Sound. I don't know much about them, but I thought it sounded cool, so I want to check them out. And they're right next to Canon, so we're going to be at the Canon booth for sure, looking at some lenses and seeing all their high-powered stuff. Not that we'll be buying anything from them at the booth, but yeah, there'll be some fun stuff there. Scarhoy, of course, they are controllers. We're probably getting into the IP game in the next 12 months, but we will see. Really matters about camera image and quality, so there's that. And then over here, B&H also has a booth in the North Hall, but I'm not too sure what, because their bigger booth is probably more of what I'm interested in. Sennheiser, we have Sennheiser gear and Shure gear, so we're going to be visiting both of their booths, and they are conveniently fairly close together. Grass Valley, I just want to peek at what they're up to. That's not really our world, but I will be looking at what Grass Valley is doing. And then, of course, Dante. So, want to hang out with Dante and see maybe what they're up to. We will not be visiting these meeting rooms, so I can uncheck this one. And, oh, did it do it? Okay. So don't need to visit meeting rooms, and that's the North Hall. I mean, that's one of 3 halls that NAB consumes. Now we head over to the South Lower Hall. This is going to be where, of course, a lot of the video production stuff is, and so Ross Video's here, but Blackmagic, they have an enormous booth this year. Avid, they'll be there, so we probably need to walk by their booth. vMix, big fan of vMix. I'm using vMix right now, so it would be great to see them. And then PTZ Optics and Bird Dog are right next to each other, so that'll be fun. Fun for them. Boland is also in that area, but the people that I used to work with at Boland are no longer there, so that's unfortunate. AJA, I'm going to add them to my list, and Ross Video, we're going to add them to the list too. And then let's keep going here. Anybody, if you see anything that's like you should go by there and check them out, please let me know. Be very interested in hearing your suggestions. They're going to have 3 days. New Blue, we definitely want to be there, so we're going to check out New Blue. I think maybe I'll have a friend that's working that booth from the old Bird Dog days, so we'll see. Small Rig, I love these guys. They're a little pricey, but I do love Small Rig, and so we're going to check them out. I'm going to check them out just for our camera rig stuff. X Keys, of course, we definitely need to go by X Keys and see what they're up to. Newer gear, which is a lot of video accessory stuff, monitors and whatever, that will be something that we want to check out. Blackmagic has another little booth over here for some reason, and that may be their old booth compared to their new one, but I don't know. And then Netgear is on that line as well, so that'll be great. See Netgear, maybe John Hinkle will be there, and I'll be able to shake his hand. I did an interview with him once with Bird Dog at NAB in 2022, so hopefully he'll remember. Elgato, which makes Stream Deck, they'll be there, and so we need to check out what they're up to, see if there's any new. We use Stream Decks at Safe Harbor, so that'll be good. And then I don't really have anything else beyond here, but if anything stands out, or you guys are curious as to what it is that, if you guys are curious as to, hey, you should check them out, I've heard good things, we definitely want to do that. I also hope to, I don't know, does anybody know if, is it after hours, office hours, if they're going to be there this year again? Because that would be really cool to see them in action. And then the West Hall, the third venue, you could literally spend 1 day in each hall. Diversified's going to be there, and so I don't know if I'll have friends at that booth or not, but who knows. These are hospitality suites. So is VisRT on this group? Anyways, Diversified's going to be here. I don't see any names on this. Oh, there's VisRT. Okay, so let's add them. Not that I have any guys that work at VisRT anymore. Maybe Jeremy. If Jeremy's there, I could say hey to him. But a lot of those guys have moved on. What's this? Oh, Peplink. Yes, we definitely need to check out Peplink. See those guys in actions. Office hours will be there, but they won't have a booth. Are they doing a live show? Do you know? Are they gonna like broadcast and walk around and do interviews and stuff? Because that's cool. I just want to see them doing it. I don't need to talk to them or anything. Vimeo. Well, okay, we can add that. Vimeo. We use Vimeo as a data, like a video repository, but don't really. Oh, concession area. Definitely need to add that to my list. Um, anybody else? Anybody else? There are a lot of these small booths, and you stop and you look at things along the way, but you definitely just walk on through and see what people got. A lot of smaller guys here. Meeting rooms, T-Mobile, Microsoft. Yes, they are planning on doing their live show. That's cool. I really hope that I get to see them doing it this year. I attended on YouTube last year, and it was so cool to see them do it. So I'm very excited to hear that they're doing that again. That'll be really fun. Maybe you'll see me in the background. Watch 4 days of broadcast just to see me walk by one time. Um, oh, Dolby's going to be there. That's fun. If you do anything with signage, you might want to check out Tightrope Media Systems. They're in the West Hall. What did you call them? Tightrope? We don't really do anything right now with signage, but we might. So let's go ahead and just type these guys here. Or is there another one? Nope, Tightrope Media, that's them. So let's just add that just so I have a list of them. That's great, thank you. See guys, it's that easy. If you have a suggestion, go ahead and say something. Where is NDI? Oh, they're in the same booth. NDI is in the same booth. Yeah, okay. I would assume so. It's strange that they're in the West Hall. Is it strange that NDI is in the West Hall and not with the rest of the camera manufacturers? I mean, are we seeing a shift away from camera manufacturers and like the video over IP? It just seems kind of less this year, right? Like it was the top, maybe I got to get there and then I'll be like, oh, never mind. It's full on. 3Play Media. Yeah. So, okay, so those are the three halls. And if I just go here and then say, here's my whole show. No, like I said, see, but like Insta360 camera company, right? Grass Valley isn't really one. Sony, I guess. Do we have Sony on here? Let's add Sony. But then in the South Hall lower, it seems like Blackmagic, Bird Dog, AJA. Are those the major players, I guess, these days? Like, man, look at the booth, man. That thing's humongous. Bird Dog, PTZ Optics. I mean, maybe that's all. That's only what it's ever been, and I just thought it was bigger than it was, but evidently not. I don't know these companies though, and that's part of the reason why you go. You go because you don't know what's out there, and maybe we're gonna find something that's gonna be the answer to everything we need to do. So that's why we're going, and I think it's going to be great. I think if anything, it's just going to confirm that we're on the right path. Kilo view, there we go. At the very least, yeah, it'll like, yep, let's go forward then with our plan, and maybe it will show us how it could be done easier. So there's that option too. I would love to do something over Bird Dog Cloud or something like that. I haven't I haven't sorted it out in my brain how it makes total sense to do that given our infrastructure. But yeah, we could go up to cloud and down to a decoder on our side. If it was an HX signal, really lightweight, that might be ideal. Um, so the problem that I'm trying to solve, one of the problems that I'm trying to solve, is that we want to do a remote video audio combined and send that back from anywhere in the United States to our home base in Brentwood, Tennessee. Cloud um, could be a solution. It would be one stream, one camera, or potentially multiples, I guess, if they were PTZs, and connecting to like a PEP link. So that going into a network, a computer, and then a PEP link, and going up to Bird Dog Cloud and then coming down from Bird Dog Cloud on our side, and us using that live video. If they were HX cameras, like I'd be willing to give it a try, especially if we had some PTZs or something that we could just set it up and then remote control from our home base. That would be ideal. So there'll be a chance that maybe we'll go down that road, but I'll be there, so we'll have to meet up at some point for sure. Let me know, man, wherever you're at, and whatever days you're there. Hopefully we'll run across each other. That'd be great. Shake your hand and say hey, see how you're doing, see what you're there for. Really cool. So I'm really excited about NAB. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It'd be great to see people go there for a few days. We're not going to stay the whole show. We're going to come back on Tuesday afternoon. So we got to be at the airport probably by, I don't know, 1 o'clock or something like that. So we'll go for 2.5 days. And then, make the most of it. See what we can see. Probably do South Hall lower the first day, West Hall the second day, and then the stragglers in... West Hall the third day, because there's not much for us to do in that hall just right now. But then there's a lot to see in the North Hall. But it might be good to like rock out, the West Hall first, see those things, and then get out of there. Because first of all, there's not much to see, and then that leaves you with the remainder of the time for the other two halls that have a lot of stuff going on. So that might be the plan. My coffee. I had a little left, and yeah, it's okay. Okay, but still warm. Thanks, Ember Mugs. Thanks for that. So yeah, next week will be the show before NAB, and I'm gonna get my rig together, my camera rig, and sort it all out. I've got a recording day tomorrow at the soundstage in Brentwood, and so I'll be there tomorrow. And then, yeah, we're gonna get our portable gear together. I need to probably order this FlowPro thing if I'm gonna get it, right? So let me secure the funding for that, and then get that on order. Maybe we'll do a quick little review of that next week if it's here. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves out there, folks. It's been already an hour and a half of me just rambling on and testing things and playing around with the Evo, which I do love this camera. It's a shame that it's discontinued and there's not a second generation of it, because I would probably buy it. But I do love that option of having 360-degree video and then pressing a button and having 180 video in 3D. It turns some heads when you're walking down the street with a camera like this, and the locking mechanism was never great. Yeah, it was never great. But anyway, when you flip it out, it turns it into a 180 camera, so it matches our eyeballs. Pretty good, pretty close, and yeah, you're able to shoot 3D video. So I do love having that option, because it means that I can share things like Christmas morning with Grandma, who isn't here on Christmas morning. She lives in a different country, so she can show up and we put the headset on and she can watch the kids open their gifts, and that's pretty cool for her. So also going on vacation without my kids, and but still letting them experience some of the highlights of that trip. So always love that stuff. That Sony booth is enormous. I completely agree. It looks like they have multiple people hanging out in there. So these are all, so Crispin Corporation, Hawkeye Innovations, and Nevion AS. They're all in there with them. But yeah, we definitely need to check out, what is Cinema Central? There's a theater. Oh, okay. That's their like presentation space. So yeah, lots of things to see. I'm pretty excited. I think I've got my plan together. Do they have an app for your phone? There's no mention of it. At least I haven't seen it. But wouldn't it be cool to have an app that NAB show? Oh, 2015 NAB show. It is an app. It has pretty poor reviews, but if I log in, would it show me my floor plan? That would be cool. Let's go ahead and click on the app and see what it says. Da, 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 da. All right, NAB, quickly navigate to the information that you want. Browse the entire floor plan, interactive floor plan, show your planner. Boom, there you go. Easily find exhibitors. So why are people giving it such bad reviews? Pretty useful. Not sure why I needed a different sign-in than my email that I used to register. That seems weird. Mainstays shows up. List is difficult to find. Floor maps are great. The overview is an absolute mess, and frankly, my frustration with it is the only reason I bother to write a review. How about just make it a normal map style with north at the top? Because the current cutesy artsy rendering from a random direction is mostly useless. It'd be totally awesome if, like the floor plans, the overview showed my current location. Obviously impossible with this ridiculous rendering. Strong words. It's true. I don't know why we need to have two logins for NAB than the one that we registered with. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But already have an account signed in. I do already have an account, and I would like to sign in. However, it doesn't know my login information, and that's really annoying. So let's find out. All right. I will do my best, mind you, that I will try and take photos and upload those to my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please do, and I'll try and make the most of my social media stuff so that if you're not able to make it, you'll be able to see all the things that I'm seeing. And I'll put up as much of it as I can. I'll need to set reminders, like every 20 minutes, take pictures. That would be, maybe I can do that. Reminders. Starting on, and it only needs to be for 3 days. But reminders, I'm going to say new reminder. Take pictures. And I want this to begin on the 6th at about, 9 a.m.? 9 a.m. Actually, it'll be more like 11 because I'm in Central Time. Repeat. Custom. Frequency. Oh, I can only do hourly. Hourly. Every hour. Will recur every hour. Okay. So now I won't forget. And then end repeat. Well, I'll deal with that later. But that'll be good. Let's just put that in the reminders so I don't forget. And again, I'm hoping to have some recording gear, so hopefully that will make sense as we go. Hey John, have a great day. Thanks, Angus. You too. 20 years ago, the Sony booth took up half of the room. Oh my word, are you kidding me right now? Yikes, man. Yeah, that's a lot. I'm sure that they looked at the price tag of that and yes, wow. All said wow in unison. That seems excessive, to say the least. But hey, if you have the money and you need to have that sort of presence on the floor, then perhaps. Hey, I just realized that I'm kind of zoomed in here a little bit, and I'm sure I did that for some reason, but main reset because this is a little bit more comfortable. So that's a little more comfortable than the up close and personal one that I got going on here. So if I did this, okay, I think that that's better. Yes, I think that's better. All right, so pretty excited about this. It'll be a great show. I think I'm looking forward to going. 20 years ago, I definitely used more Sony cameras than I do now. Ooh, and I think we found out the correlation. At that point, everything was sort of, oh, they were sort of everything in the business. And yes, they were. You know, they were a big name, and a lot of people tried to come up and take a part of the market share, I think, from them. So they're still a huge name. I mean, I remember the Canon booth when I was there with Bird Dog. They were just kind of over yonder, and it was just this mammoth of a place, just humongous, you know. So I didn't really get a chance to walk around the floor very much. I did prior to the show because I would like set things up, and then the carpet guys would show up, and I would leave for an hour and come back and kind of see where people were. But then we also spent that time like eating and resting and getting ready to do more stuff because I was there 3 days early and spent the first day visiting with people, and then the second and third day mostly setting up and getting ready to go. So it was busy. It's busy if you're an exhibitor and you've got a big booth going on and you got a construction project that's going up to make your booth and everything. It's a busy time. So really looking forward to just going and having no pressure to be anywhere anytime soon, and just be available to visit with folks and make plans when we get there. Panasonic really disrupted their domination of the DV/DV cam market with the DVX100. It was so much more popular than the VX1000 or 2000. John, I'm so bummed that I'm not going to be at NAB this year. So take lots of pictures and vlogs so that I can live vicariously through you this year. That is the plan. I have heard that there are not like the people that I guess not expect, but the people I would be like, oh yeah, they'll be there. They're saying they're not going. So like Tom Sinclair, the guy is the goat in the live stream space in the vmix world, right? And so the fact that he's not going to make it this year, and I think it's because family or something's going on, but I don't think he's just going to be able to make it. And so that's a real shame. And I asked him on his show, hey, what do you want me to see? What do you want to see? And I'll record something and send it over. So I'm going to try my best, my my hardest to record a bunch of stuff and then get it up. If I don't have great cell service on the floor, then you'll see a flood of stuff come in the evenings when I get outside or get back to my hotel. I will start uploading tons of stuff. The other thing is like, do I really need to take this camera, or do I just need to take my iPhone and the GoFlow, the Insta360 Flow Pro 2? If I get that, yeah, maybe I don't need to take this big rig because this thing's heavy. It's got a big, huge battery on it, but like it also feels legit. Like it feels like a real camera, and people might take you more seriously if you show up with a rig like that. So maybe that. I don't know really what I'm trying to do over there. I don't know why I need a big camera, but I do want to get to some booths, take some footage, have some stuff to share here at home. So maybe I take this rig, not the confidence monitor, everything, but maybe I take the camera with the handle and the big battery and the confidence monitor and my little wireless rig here and make the best of it. So why not? I don't have any obligations. I'm paying to be there this time. So it'll be kind of fun. NAB, autocorrect, yeah. We got you, Steven. We got you. Hey, thanks. I'll be watching. I was very much looking forward to going this year, but my schedule just fell apart. Ah, man. I'm sorry to hear that. It would have been nice to see you. I've never managed to get to NAB. April is over. Super busy time for you. Yeah, you said that before. The April is like your ramp up time, right? Phone cam is plenty. It's not worth carrying around all that extra weight. Agreed. So the thing about it is I have a bag that actually handles the weight really well. It's like an over-the-shoulder bag that I take on all my trips. And so I'm fine with carrying it, it's not that heavy. It's just extra weight, and the phone may be enough, but it maybe this is what kind of sets me apart from other random people just walking around with their phones, right? So I'll definitely take my phone. It'll be with me 100%. But maybe I take my rig. I'm still planning on it, but the phone may also be a good option. It would be great if the little flow thing would have a way to integrate audio, because you kind of have to do that on like via dongle then, right? If I want to integrate this audio with my phone, that may have to the that wireless rig works with your phone too. How? How does the wireless rig work with my phone? Let's see one more time before we sign off. What options does this thing have for audio? Are there any jacks on it or anything? No. I don't think. Wait, what is that? USB? Is that for charging? Audio, where are we here? Do they say anything about audio? Audio integration? I don't think so. Special, da 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 da. These don't sound like frequently asked questions. These sound like questions marketing put together. Port, USB-C. Ooh, Apple Watch control. Free tilt mode, multi-person tracking, active. So yeah, how isn't it a Rode? So USB-C. Yes, it is, but I would need to go USB-C to Lightning. So we'll have to see if that works. We can test that right now, because it's a 13. It's not a USB-C phone yet. So let's go ahead and this microphone's on. Alrighty, sorry about that, everybody. I thought it was off. So I did have it off. Why is it on? I press a button or so. Oh, I bet I pressed unmute. That's what I did. All right, so now my Rode wireless microphone is off. Let's plug the USB-C into that, and then plug the lightning cable into this. And then if I open the camera app, camera, yoink. And let's see if we have any audio options. I can switch this back now. You guys can hear me just fine, right? USB-C, easy to connect to phone. The Flow does nothing for audio. Rode should have included that lightning cable. They did not. My Wireless Pro came with a lightning cable. All right, so let's go over to video. And we're going to go to what options here? Let's find out what we have for options. Video, 60 frames, 4K 30. That's a little much. Let's find out. Oh, you know what? Duh. Let's do this. Yeah. I think this is what I need to do. Yoink. So, maybe it's under settings. Oh man, hang on. I just dawned on me. Man, do I have a story to share with you? It's better than before. So here's a story to share with you. I went to a restaurant called Hattie B's in Nashville. It's throughout the country, but Hattie B's serves chicken. And let's just go here to Nashville. The one that I went to was in Franklin, and it was very good. Very good chicken. However, I ordered. You know what's happening here. I ordered 3 tenders grilled, and I ordered the Shut the Cluck Up sauce on all of them. Actually, I ordered 4, and the lady was like, "What sort of hot sauce do you want?" And I said, "Let's just go with the Shut the Cluck Up. That's fine." And she's like, "Oh, okay, ghost peppers it is." Beep 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 beep. Punched it in, and my brain is like, "Oh no, what have I done? I don't know if I'm ready for this." Oh man, I think the I think this is on par with the 2 times spicy ramen. This, I ate one of them as quick as I could to get it in, and I could not sit still. I drank 3 cups of unsweetened iced tea, like back to back to back. I had a cup of ice, and I killed that over the course of, I don't know, 15 minutes. And I did eat another half eventually, but I was sitting uncomfortably for maybe 30 minutes with my family at the table with me, by the way. And so oh man, it was brutal. And there are 2 more chicken wings sitting downstairs in my fridge right now. So I ate, did I have 2 more? I ate 1.5. I had 4. So I had 2.5 left. I ate one the other night, and it was cold. And so, like cold KFC. Well, these are just grilled chicken tenders, and so it's just all chicken. So I chopped it up and ate it as quick as I could, had some liquid with me, and I got it down. But there's still 1.5 left. And you purely are doing it because you like pain. It was extremely hot. Extremely hot. So, yeah. It was too much for me. I think I have to say it was probably too much for me because I just was not enjoying it at all. But Hattie B's, I can recommend 10 out of 10, man. I think next time I'll probably just go with the hot and enjoy the chicken and maybe get an extra chicken tender or something like that. But yeah, yikes, man. It was so brutal. So now I'm looking for, anyways, back to, I'm sorry, this Hattie B's. I can recommend this. Extremely good. I don't know if I put that up there or not. But anyways, really good. I think I'll just stick with the hot sauce next time. I learned my lesson. But my goodness, that was something else. Yeah, seriously, something else. Whew. Yeah, I got destroyed. All right, so audio settings. Is there like a microphone, no. Oh yeah, there. Microphone, security and privacy. Oh, that's just enable microphone. All right, so how do I know if this is using the mic that I have plugged in? Because you would think that it would, but I don't have a way to verify it. Now, I do have the Blackmagic app for the phone, and maybe that's the one that we use instead of the camera. I use this Blackmagic app for recording stuff, and maybe there's a way to change the audio in here. So let's go ahead and click on the audio. iPhone microphone. Check 1, 2. No, so that is picking up the microphone from... That's picking up the onboard microphone. Audio source. Here we go. It does not give me an option to use my Rode. Why is that, I wonder? Maybe I need to power it off and power it back on again. Have you tried turning it off and back on again? Or maybe I need to... Yeah, okay, let's try this. Does it give me the option? It sure doesn't. It's picking it up, but it's not putting it on my phone as an audio source. That's a shame, because that would be cool. Now, I might have a 3.5 dongle somewhere. Actually, I'm pretty sure I know where one is. And so that might work. And then I could clip this onto the yeah, that might work. But tempting. But it does not show up here on the phone as an option to use. So I'll need to investigate that. See what else we've got. That one has tap the mic and test. That one has options for sure. Yeah, so I mean, I'm talking into the microphone that's in my hat, and currently don't. You would think though, like if there was a secondary audio source, then it would say, you know, pick your audio source. You would think. Okay. Yeah, the Blackmagic has a drop down that says audio sources, and it's not listed in there. So it would probably show up on this list, right? If it were, let's put this in front of my face. So that's a shame. Now, this USB-C to Lightning cable may also not be, although I just used it to do a data transfer off my phone to my computer. So I know it's working. It's just a matter of, does it show up, which it doesn't. That's a shame. Well, we'll go down that avenue one day, maybe later today. However, there is that one has options for sure. All right, we gotta wrap this up because I gotta get going. I'm really happy you guys came along here. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been fun to kind of ramble, and then everybody showed up, and we were talking about NAB, and we got off on an Insta360 rant about what I hope to see at NAB from Insta360, and that's purely just for me. I don't. It's not anything to do about my work or anything like that. I just want to see a 1-inch sensor for an Insta360 camera. And I don't think it's lost. I think there's a great market for it. I just think that they're into the action cameras because GoPro's struggling. And that's been where their attention is. However, I suspect that they'll go the same way as GoPro if that continues. So I need to buy one of these Flow Pros, and maybe we can talk about that next week and talk about packing up for NAB and what to expect. And then you guys can live through me while I'm at the show for those of you who can't make it. So, and Sean, hopefully I'll see you there. That'd be great. Hit me up on Instagram or something like that. Message me over there, and we can definitely figure out where you are. Why is the gray Flow Pro? Oh, because that's Flow Pro 1. Flow Pro 2 is $10 more. Seems like a miscalculation. Yeah, anyway. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I always appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you guys next week right before NAB starts, and then I'll be flying out, and we can chat about things. My Rode Wires Go 2 just works with the iPhone. My old Rode interface worked through my Lightning phone. So you'll have to Google that stuff. That's a good idea. How to connect Rode Wireless Go to iPhone. I'll probably say get a 3.5 dongle. You'll need a Lightning accessory cable like the Rode SC15. This cable allows Wireless Go 2 to be plugged into the iPhone directly. I believe this is the one. Nope. How to connect. You could also get an official Apple Lightning to 3.5 adapter. However, it is important to note that not all cables will work. The only cable that has been confirmed to work is the Rode SC15. So how much is that? No thanks. Rode S. Come on now. That SC15 is $22. Really? Lame-o. What is it? What did I say? 15? That says 21. What am I talking about? Yeah, SC15. SC19, SC21, SC16, SC22. That's funny. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll find something. We'll make it work. I think I might have one of those dongles here at the house, and if I don't, I know I have one I can pick up tomorrow from the soundstage, so that'll be good. Okay, guys, yoink. Digital is better, obviously. Order that cable. But it's not even the right number. They said SC15, and I don't even see that one. It's true, though. Digital would be better. All right. Let's call it. You guys have a great week. I'll see you guys soon. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll see you next week, right before NAB. And that'll be a blast of a show. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.